Welcome back to another episode of Smooth Operator Trucking, where we create the dream one mile at a time. Today we're going to be asking the question, did I make the right decision by letting Freightliner work on my truck? Get it started right now. So a few days ago, I posted a video about my experience at Peach State Freightliner in Villa Rica, Georgia. And a YouTuber by the name of Andrew Jackson, I think he has a pretty large following. I didn't really see how many followers he has, but probably a pretty significant amount. Apparently he came across the video and he does reaction videos, and so he did a reaction video on my video, and someone told me about it in the comments, and so I went and checked it out. I was all excited, okay, that's cool. Like somebody, my video was cool enough to do a reaction on it, well, apparently he doesn't even watch the video first before he does a reaction. I guess that wouldn't make it a legit reaction. So anyways, I started watching the video, and it's like an hour long. And I thought it was, pretty good content. And I make videos so that people can learn from my experience, some of my mistakes, and some of the things that I've done right. Sometimes it opens you up to some vulnerability. So I don't feel any kind of way about the video too much, really. And I watched a couple of his other videos, and I kind of realized that's kind of what he does, so no big deal, I'm not trying to go back and forth with him. I think his material is great, but this is social media and it's content. I know I don't have to explain my decisions, but why the hell not? Only thing I really didn't care for too much in the reaction that he did on my video is that he made me a lot of times seem green as a word he used. He didn't silly, maybe like I don't know what I'm doing, And in my opinion, that's far from the truth. Now, I'm a very humble, try to be a very humble person. I don't think that I know it all. I know I don't know it all, but I do seek knowledge, and I do take constructive criticism very well. I think in life we all make mistakes. In trucking and business we make mistakes, and the best teacher is experience. You do all the research in the world, sometimes the best teacher is experience. I think I do a pretty good job of making the right decision or the best decision for whatever I have presented in front of me at the moment. Alright, so let's back up to me possibly being green. I believe that was his first time ever watching any of my videos, so maybe he doesn't know that I'm not new to trucking. I've been around trucking my whole life. Since 1983. I'm a second generation truck driver. My dad's still a truck driver. The 1983 cab over Peterbilt 362 that you guys see in the intro video actually belonged to him. He bought it in 1989, worked it for 10 years, and then he gave it to me in 2009, and I restored it and did some work on it. I've done a lot of work on that truck myself. My current truck, 2007 Freightliner Columbia Detroit 60, I do a lot of work on it myself. Just the basics, I'm not super mechanically inclined, but I will get online, I will do the research, and a lot of times I'll figure it out. Probably need to start doing even more of my own work. One of the issues with that is I really don't have a place to do the work at a lot of times, and so if I break something or if I need a part or whatever, then it makes it a little bit hard for me to get. If I'm on the road somewhere and I don't have a dedicated mechanic, and that's why one of my issues, I need to actually find a good little bit. So I've been around trucks my whole life. I've had my CDL probably since 2009. I joined the Army when I was 18, and for the first 4 years of my Army career, I was an 88 Mike, aka truck driver. Got deployed, did 3 tours in Iraq. So, as a truck driver, as an 88 Mike, literally driving under fire. I've been professionally, I guess, driving since 2017. When I was still in the Army, I started driving on the side because I knew that trucking was going to be ultimately what I was going to go into. I've been an owner-operator now for about 3 years. I actually was a truck owner before I became an owner-operator. Back in 2014-15, I met a guy by the name of Larry Long of Blue River Logistics at the Louisville Truck Show, and we started talking, and we came up with a plan, for me to buy a truck and to let him manage it for me. I learned a lot from Larry on the business side. I learned a lot from my dad on the trucking side. I learned a lot from Larry on the business side, and I appreciate everything that I learned from him. That's one of the reasons why I got a cash truck. I didn't pay for this truck. The truck was actually free. A guy I was running for, contractor, FedEx ground contractor down in Florida, he was going to sell it to me for $5,000. But we made a deal, and he said if I stay with him through peak season, he would give me the truck. And so he gave me the truck, and I knew it needed an overhaul, so that was the first thing I did. I got an overhaul on it. Now, the guy that I got the overhaul done from was out of Jacksonville, Florida. Came highly recommended. Been doing Detroit 60 overhauls for years. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, he did a bad one on mine. So he did the overhaul, and during the initial overhaul, he said he measured and that the heads did not need to be machined off. That was a question I did ask. So unfortunately, once he finished the initial overhaul, the truck was just sitting there idling, and it threw a rod. And he called me up and said, "Hey man, I messed up. The truck threw a rod, the engine threw a rod or whatever, and I'm going to get you another block." I had to replace the ECM on it, but he did give me another block. Now, that might be where the issue started. I'm not sure where he actually got the block from, but it's possible that the block was not machined, and that's one of the reasons why, or the reason, I've had to replace my head gasket every so often. There's been some other times where, I've used Freightliner, probably when I shouldn't have. There's been some times where I've used Freightliner when no one else can figure it out. So you go to 2 or 3 independent shops, and they still can't figure it out. You spent that money, you waste that money, and then now you go to Freightliner, and they fix it. Yeah, it costs more, but they're able to fix it. That's not always the case. Obviously, I do recommend if you're getting engine work done, maybe don't go to Freightliner, go to a Detroit authorized, location. They usually have mechanics there, are usually a lot better than just your average Freightliner mechanic. But anyway, so finally got that fixed and everything. Obviously, you've heard about the other issues I've had with the truck, but some of that's just routine maintenance. I get it, you're gonna have to replace stuff in the truck. But there's a lot of times where I worked on my own truck. I've been on the side of the road, knock on wood, other than the initial towing the truck to get an overhaul, I've never had to have this truck on a hook. Usually I'm able to think outside the box, figure out something on my own. I mean, I've been on the side of the road and called an Uber to bring me the part that I needed from the Freightliner dealership and made the fix and repair on the road myself, just so I wouldn't have to do a call out or, a tow truck or anything like that. I've, gotten an Uber myself, apart, came back. I mean, 9 times out of 10, all that stuff is going to be cheaper than getting a call out or getting a tow, you know? If I had been an older truck, you can get away with that a little more. I mean, even with the, I've had the coolant run out, and you know, the little trick with the, get a clothespin, not a clothespin, but a paper clip, and you can bypass the sensor or trick the sensor, you know, at least so that you can get to somewhere to get more coolant or water or get the issue fixed. So I know how to think outside the box, and I know how to, you know, try to make the best decision with whatever situation I'm presented with at that time. But at that time, I had just replaced my wastegate actuator, and the truck was running rough, so I thought maybe, okay, you know, maybe it just needs to be calibrated. I've had it replaced, so I've replaced it myself before, and everything that I've researched says you really need to go to a dealership because they're going to put it on the computer, and there's like, you know, fine tuning or whatever. Do you need that all the time? No. A lot of times it comes kind of calibrated out of the box, especially if it's coming with a turbo at that time. So I said, why not? I'll stop by Freightliner and let them do it. Well, of course, you know, Freightliner, they started looking for other things and started finding things, and lo and behold, that wasn't my issue to begin with. Now, I stand by my decision to go to the Freightliner and let them do the work, especially after they came down to $4,000. Is it possible I could have went somewhere else and got that work done? Possibly, yeah. For less than that, maybe. I mean, maybe I would have saved myself $1,000, you know, but it's not like I got robbed or something like that. Now, if I would have bid for $8,800, $6,000, you know, something like that, yeah, I got it. But I think $4,000 for what they did was pretty reasonable, especially for a Freightliner. And then too, it was done right there on the spot. The truck was already there. You know, why not? And yeah, it came with a warranty. But yeah, I get it. You know, does the warranty really matter in this situation? It can. I think on certain things like that gasket, they will honor that for up to 6 months, maybe a year. Some Freightliners, they'll honor the parts and not the labor, or they'll honor the labor for only 6 months, but they'll honor the parts for a year, whatever, you know. Hopefully I don't have that issue anytime soon, but if I do, I think that the warranty will come in. I think it's good for this year. But anyways, so I just wanted to put that video out. I mean, why not? It's content, you know. This is not me clapping back or whatever. Obviously, there's always a better decision to make. But I think for everything that I was presented with at that moment, I think that I made the right decision. 2026, I do plan to do more work on my truck myself. Find somewhere that I can be somewhere and go get the parts and tools that I need. I mean, I keep tools in the truck. Sometimes, obviously, for certain jobs, you might not have brake tools. Probably get some power tools. None of my tools are power tools. So, yeah, overall, I think I made the right decision. What do you guys think? You guys think I made the right decision? And what do you think that I could have done all that work for?
In a quarter of a mile, keep right towards Interstate 495.
Anyways, you know, I don't mind making myself vulnerable so people can learn from my experience, you know, because that's why I do a YouTube channel. Hope you guys got value out of this video. If you did, go ahead and like and subscribe. And like I always say, it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. Hard times don't last, hard trucks do. Last but definitely not least.